Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One Lifestyles with your girl, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. And listen, hunties, today's guest is somebody I practically saw grow up. I mean, you guys all know her as Andrea Lewis, the one and only Canadian actress. How are you, babe?
I'm very good. How are you?
I am great. You know what? I am so happy to meet you. I was just talking to my daughter who was fangirling out. Because if you guys don't know, you played on Degrassi as the mean girl.
Yeah, I mean, she was like the popular girl. So in that way, she was mean. I think that's how high school was portrayed in the early 2000s. Was like, if you were like cool, then you were mean. I guess they still do now that I think about it. But then you were like, you were mean. In my real life, though, that wasn't necessarily the case. Like you could be the cool person and not be mean. But
right.
It wasn't quite like that. Yeah.
and I think just by you saying that shows exactly where my daughter was in that realm, right? she was like, she is so mean. But to say that you grew up from there and now you on, oh my gosh, one of the most talked about, anticipated movies on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. It's a Nashville Legacy. I am like to the moon looking forward to seeing this.
Oh, I'm glad. No, it's a really sweet movie and I had so much fun making it. So I think like the response to it, I think the trailer and like everything that I've seen from it has been so great because it was such a great time that it's just keeps going. It's like this positivity ball that just keeps rolling.
Right. Well, let's talk about that. What is your role? Who do you play in this film? And kind of walk us through what this film is about.
Okay, so I play Naima, and Naima is going to Nashville. She is going to Nashville for a few reasons. One, to reconnect with her family roots. Her grandmother grew up there. It's always just held a special place in her heart and her family dynamic. So she wants to get to know it. She's also going to school. She's going there to get her doctorate in ethnomusicology. And all of that ultimately is to connect with her roots, to kind of just discover herself a little bit more. She loves music. Her grandmother loves music. And so she was just raised in a very musical environment. So going to school to kind of further her education in music so that she could learn more, do more, only makes sense. She's also going to be interning at the National Museum of African American Music in Nashville. So she's got a few reasons for being in this city. And while being there, she basically discovers a family secret that ultimately takes her entry or her mission in Nashville. It changes it into something a little bit bigger, a little bit more than she bargained for, really. And also at the exact same time, she meets a really nice guy named Damian, played by Mr. Pooch Hall, and he happens to be tied to this family secret, and she ends up kind of in this between a rock and a hard place, trying to discover and figure out what she's going to do. She wants to continue her family legacy. She wants to make her grandmother proud and her family proud ultimately. but at the exact same time, she's getting to know this guy and she doesn't really know what to do. It's a lot of things, but it all makes a lot of sense when you see the film because it's really about family and legacy and music and just following your heart.
I love all of that. I love all of that. Now, when does it premiere?
So it premiered on February 26th on Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. But I think we have an encore presentation of think so. But you can see it again and again and again on Hallmark.
Okay, yeah, because we want to see it. I was like searching like a little crackhead today.
Okay.
Like I was looking for it. I'm like, I'm here, like this was the last thing I should, but I will find it.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give it to you. So the re-air of it on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries is on Thursday, March 9th, 9/8 Central.
Good. Did you guys
see your calendar because that's actually coming up.
Yes. Perfect timing. And so when I heard about this and we see the premiere and I think of Nashville, every time I think of Nashville, I think of country music.
Yes. And you should, because it is a country music city. But it's also like, it's like American music. It's all the roots is there. Like there's soul music there. There's rock and roll there. Everything is there. And the National Museum of African American Music is like a really good display of that because it's everything. It's every contribution that African American community has made to music within this museum. And so you really get to see that it's blues, it's country, it's rock, it's soul, it's jazz, it's all of these things. And even within the film, we touch on a little bit of everything because that's really just like, it's our culture as a collective, as African Americans, but at the exact same time, it's also just American culture. So it's really beautiful.
I do love that the film touch on all of that and it gives us a new perspective. Like I said before, every time I thought of Nashville, I strictly thought of
country music,
right? Yeah. Which I love country music. That's my jam.
Yeah.
So for you to now watch it and go, wait, that's like the history of all music that is held there. And it gives us a different way to look at Nashville.
Absolutely.
And so kudos to Hallmark to wake our eye, wake us up to something new.
Absolutely. They partnered with the National Museum of African American Music and it was the perfect partnership because not only is this story just so beautiful and so easily told, but then also, like I said, getting to highlight this space that's just so like rich with history. It's like a beautiful museum and it has everything. It really does. And so it really lets you know that like as like Black culture, Black people, when it comes to the music scene, it's like we really are a part of all of it. And Nashville is like the perfect city for that because you already think of music. Country music is just very much Americana. But then now if you put that to also like our culture too at the exact same time, like it will really make you think of Nashville in a little different way. It's like now you got to make a whole other trip to Nashville.
Correct. Now I'm like, I always want to go to Nashville. I've never been. And my husband, he's ABC, anything but country, right? So that's why we have never been because he's like, I don't want to go. But now,
yeah, you have to go.
We have to go because of the museum and the history. So this is a great selling point for me.
Okay, good.
I'm like, we got to go because this is what they have, right?
Yeah.
So when you were filming this, and I'm so excited because I get to speak to so many of you, and I would love to hear, one, what was your take on the film?
Oh my gosh. Well, the filming experience was incredible. From the cast to the crew, to the Hallmark team, just everybody was just so on page. It was like we were really working together in the best way possible. And every person brought their A game. Every person just wanted to not only create something really amazing, but for you to feel really amazing when you were doing it. Right. And so from that perspective, I had the best time ever. Then seeing it now, finally seeing the film, it was beautiful. Honestly, it was really beautiful. I have to like really give kudos to Roger Bob, our director. director. And he did such an amazing job of like bringing this story together and just telling it in such a beautiful way, and showing Nashville, showing African-American culture, showing music culture, and giving you this real variety. And also it's like, it looks really rich and really beautiful and really like the colors, like the film is just honestly, truly, really stunning. And I'm not just saying that's not my own bias, but
Right,
at the exact same time, I'm like, I was really pleased to see that. Like, I really came out of it like, yeah, you know, when you're shooting something, it feels good to you, but filmmaking is a team sport. And so you do your job, your co-stars do their job, your crew does their job, and then you kind of let it be. Like, let's see what happens. Let's see how it's going to come together. So when I saw the final result, I was blown away. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love the premiere. Everything, the colors were rich. Even when they showed things in black and white, you know, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
I am over. When I say I am over ecstatic to see this, because it is about our culture, and American culture. Now, you know, you are on the Misfit One platform, so we gonna really dig in deep, talking about you and how you, as an actress, go into a role, and how do you prepare for that, and when you're filming, because I know that, you know, it could not be a easy 4-hour shoot or a 2-hour shoot that is long, and you have to be present in the role. How do you protect yourself, your energy, while doing that?
You know, it's a few things. One, I love stepping into the position of being the lead in something. It takes more energy, as you're stating, and more work is required of you. But I think if you mentally prepare, if you tell yourself like, this is the position that I've been grateful, like that I've been blessed with, and I feel very grateful in it. And if you kind of step into every single day with an element of gratitude, then you will have more ease in your day than you think. I know that was my thing every single morning, getting a chance to have some moments to myself, some time to myself, to be thankful, like just honestly thanking God for the position that I'm in, that I get to be a vessel to tell this story. And as just trusting your talent, trusting your gift, trusting your preparation. As much as I can prepare, there's always things that you can not expect, or that, you know, you're not going to be prepared for, but you go onto a set and you just have to trust everybody around you, trust yourself as well. So I would do my best to be memorized and to know the scenes and to all of those things. And then I just have to give it away. I have to just say, okay, universe, let's do our thing. And I trust my intuition a lot. I listen very much to my body and to my mind. I'm never like, oh no, I feel this thing, I'm just going to ignore it. If I feel tired, I sit. If I need a drink of water, I have it. If I need to have a moment to myself, I ask for it. I'm never afraid to take those things, because that's what makes you a really good leader. That's what makes you a good lead for a film. And so, I took on the role with as much professionalism as I could, and also with a lot of gratitude. And the gratitude just helped me to kind of guide my steps throughout the filming process.
Right, because gratitude is so important. And I love that you said that, because, you know, I could say things over and over and over again. They're not listening to me. They like, okay, whatever. But for you to say that, it means so much. And for someone who is so young to say it, because they always say, yeah, old people. Right, but from you, and it has a lot of meaning. And I love the fact that you show that you are aware of your body, just being mindful of what it's telling you, and to listen to it. So that's so important on so many ways. And what I also love about the role you play, you are the lead, and you also have a love interest.
Yeah.
So how was that? How did that play?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was great. I had never worked with Pooch Hall before, and I'd only heard good things about him. So when he had his first day on set, it was like, like old friends. It was like we immediately just fell into each other and we had such great chemistry. We are both the kind of artists who likes to play and enjoys the process of filmmaking, enjoys the process of storytelling, and enjoys like working with other actors in a scene. So learning each other while also simultaneously learning our characters and learning our dynamic with each other was a lot of fun. I honestly had the best time with Pooch. It was like he was the perfect love interest for Naima.
I love that because you guys really look like you guys had real chemistry. Like y'all are some really good actors and actors because we believed it. I was like, oh, look at them. I'm believing everything my eyes are telling me, right?
That's great.
So I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking time out to come and talk to us. But before I wrap it up, I have two questions.
Yep.
First question is, how, when you say you wake up and move into your day, what are some of the steps that you do in the morning? Like, what does your mornings look like?
Well, as I said, I'm like really big on gratitude. Gratitude has truly changed my life. So the first thing I do as soon as I open my eyes is I actually write whatever's on my heart to be thankful for. It could be something as simple as just thank you, God. It could be as simple as thank you for allowing me to wake up this morning, or just like whatever was on my mind. It could be thank you for my friends. Thank you for these sheets that I'm in this bed. Like it could be a million things, but I have to do that immediately. And it kind of sets my pace in my day, especially too. I lean into gratitude even when I'm not feeling that great. When I'm not, if I'm just, because anything could happen. You could have just had a rough night. Anything could happen. I especially try my best to lean into gratitude then to reset myself. And then I like to like ease into the day in terms of noise. I'm like a real quiet in the morning kind of person. And then like gradually you'll see me start to talk, or like maybe I'll put on some music, or movement is kind of big for me. I like to walk first thing in the morning, like whether that's literally on a treadmill or just out in my neighborhood. But I like to ease in so that by time like late morning, early afternoon starts to happen is when I'm actually at my prime because I've like eased into my day. And I do that even if I'm working on set. Like if my call time is 7 a.m., I'll wake up at 6 or 5:30, 5 a.m. just so that I do get that time for myself before getting into a day. I don't like to be like, oh, my call time's 7, so I'm going to wake up at 6:45. I'm like, no, I need like a lot of time to make sure that I feel really good and I feel woken up and I feel all of these things. But gratitude is my real true start of my day.
Incredible, because I really believe that's important as well. It's like a reprogramming or a reboot every morning, and to set it on this course is important. And not only, like you said, for good days, but also if you had a bad day, it's a very good thing to do to shift your mood into a good place for you to move on, instead of being stuck in misery, like that was such a bad night, bad, right?
Absolutely. No, I especially do it then because I think when you, especially like it's like my little exercise of like, if I'm really not feeling great, like I have to find like at least 5 things within my day that I should feel, pretty good about. Right. And they could be so tiny. It could be like, oh, well, at least, like I was texting with my best friend, or like somebody sent me something really funny online, or like I actually really liked my lunch. Like, things like that will make me start to be like, okay, my day's not that bad.
Right.
It's not,
it's crazy. That's exactly it. For internet, for texting, for a phone, for everything. It's crazy to think of just the little things. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture of something, but just little things. And then, of course, I would like to ask how we can watch the film again, remind us, and then how do we stay connected with you?
Okay, so you can watch A Nashville Legacy again on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, March 9th at 9/8 Central. Be tuned in, talk about it, share it, all of those good things. And you can find me on Instagram at Andrea Lewis. That's the best and easiest way to connect with me.
Awesome. Awesome. You are phenomenal. You have a new fan in me.
Thank you. Love
My
it.
daughter is already, she was like, what, Mom? Yeah, and she's 32.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Right? That's crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this the little girl we watch. So she's ecstatic. And I want to know if it's anything you can leave, any words that you would like to leave for the Misfit tribe.
You know what? I'll connect it back to Naima in A Nashville Legacy, where she is somebody who is fighting for a dream. She's fighting for the dream of her family and for her grandmother. And I am like really big on dream chasing in general. Like whatever it is that you really want, if it's on your heart, it's there for a reason. Our dreams are unique to us. And so I'm just like, my best advice for anybody that is thinking about a dream or has something that they're like, I would love to do that, is be consistent and just go for it. It's like no matter what the task is, no matter how challenging it may seem, you just have to fight for the things that you really believe in. And when you are watching A Nashville Legacy, you will absolutely know that with Naima, that she is 1000% going after her dreams and she just can't let them go. And I think that we should all have that kind of tenacity when it comes to going after the things that we want.
Perfect. That's a perfect drop mic moment right there. Go after your dreams, people. You heard it here. Thank you so much again. We really appreciate you. We support you. And until next time, you guys, stay fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, you know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfit1.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habit, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.